In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can send 10,000 cold emails per day. This is going to be a step-by-step guide, so I'm going to be walking through everything from secondary domain creation to inbox setup, sequencer setup, lead lists, writing messaging, creating campaigns, handling the replies, and then scaling. So this is going to be everything you need to know, and if you're new to cold email and this is something that you've been looking to set up, you can follow this video step by step and you'll be good. Send emails or send 10,000 emails per day. Obviously, there's a lot more to it. You can't learn everything about cold email in just 10 minutes, but if you follow what I do in this video, you can send 10,000 cold emails per day. So let's dive into it. I'm going to try to keep this in 10 minutes really quick, but quick breakdown of numbers. So look by the numbers, if you were to send 10,000 cold emails per day, let's say you have like a kind of not really even like the best messaging or offer, really we'll get one positive reply every 1,000 emails, which again, it's not really that good. We're going to get around 220 positive replies per month if we're sending 22 work days per month, which if at a 25% meeting conversion rate, we're going to see 55 meetings per month. Let's say 70% show and 80% are qualified. We're going to get roughly 31 qualified meetings. And then if you have a 20% close rate, it's going to be roughly 6 deals closed per month, right? Running 10,000 cold emails per day, it's going to cost you around like 1,500 with the setup I'm about to show you. Depending on what your LTV is, your CAC is very low for running this entire setup. So cold email is so cost efficient, it's such a great channel, so scalable. But anyways, let's dive into it. First, we need domains, right? Domains, we're going to come to Claude or ChatGPT, doesn't matter what you want to do. You are going to create secondary domains. So 10,000 cold emails, we want to use Google here. We're going to need 500 mailboxes. So that means we're going to need 250 domains. As you can see here, inbox cost, if we're using scaled mail, is going to be around 1,700. So we are going to need 250 domains in this case. What we can do too, is we can actually do 3 mailboxes per domain, which is going to make it a bit cheaper on the front end for the domain side things. So I recommend doing that if you're doing high volume like this. So we're going to need 167 domains. And we'll be using Porkbun to purchase domains, but first we want to have Claude come up with domain names. So let's say I want to do this for my own company, pipeline.tech. I'm going to just come here and say, give me 200.com variation. And I'll give it some examples, pipeline.com. We're just gonna let it run. Now we got our list. So what we can do here is import to a CSV. We can take this list, and we're going to go ahead and go to Porkbun, do bulk search, and you can only do 100 at a time. So we're going to come here, copy however many this is, copy roughly around 100, come to Porkbun, enter, and then, so with our domains, we'll go to Porkbun. We are going to do bulk search. I'm going to copy and paste. You can only do 100 at a time, so I don't say like around 50 or something. I'm going to search, and then all we have to do is just select. Obviously, a lot of these are taken, but if they're taken, I mean, you should create more variations, and then you just come here, bulk select all these, and then add, and then go to your cart, check them out. Once you have the domains, come here to scaled mail. You're going to select your order. So in this case, right, we're going to want to be doing 10,000 per day, Google, and then we are going to bring our own domains. So it's cheaper to bring your own domains than to buy them from scaled mail. Also, you don't have to do just .coms. You can do like .info, like .xyz or .org. Some of these are a bit cheaper. .com's probably the most expensive domain, or the most expensive domain people use for cold email in most cases. So using like .xyz, .info, these ones work well as well, and they're cheaper. Bring your own domains, and then you just make the purchase here. I'm not going to buy these. The scaled mail team, they handle everything from DNS, like any DNS, DMARC, all the annoying settings you have to do with email that you're going to do manually if you use Google Workspace or Microsoft. They handle all of it, and they'll even upload the email accounts to your sequencer. And we are going to be using a tool called Emailbison for our sequencer. When the email accounts are uploaded, you will see them in the sender emails here. This is the tool, and this is where we'll build the campaigns. So I'll come back to that. But next, we need to go ahead and build a lead list. So we've gone ahead and in theory, create the secondary domains, set up the inboxes. Scaled mail does all that for you, and then they add it to the sequencer. So we're going to set up Emailbison, works by Emailbison, isolated IP, really strong word pool, and they support high volume sending, like 10,000 emails per day. So highly recommend if you're looking to send over 10,000 emails per day, Emailbison's the place to be. Next, we need to build a lead list. So there's 2 main tools that we're using. Well, 3 tools we're using for list building, but 2 main databases that we'll be using to source companies and contacts. And the first one is going to be Ocean.io and Prospeo. So Prospeo is like your traditional database. So this is things like Apollo or ZimInfo. Prospeo is really good because their data is super high quality. They keep the database super up to date, and they have great coverage across pretty much all industries. So Prospeo is great for just any general lists, but we'll use Ocean.io to create lookalike lists, right? So lookalike lists, what that looks like, I mean, it's in the name. Essentially, you have a company that you want to find, a company within an industry that you want to find more of, and what you can do is just come here, type in that company domain, and Ocean.io will find more of these types of companies. So for example, let's say I want to find more companies like Owner.com. They offer solutions to restaurants because I want to target these people for my own outbound. So we see here, come to Owner.com. We see AI platform for restaurants. Let's see how accurate these are. Restaurant logic. Yeah, so same sort of thing. Marketing, Ordermark. Yeah, this is going to be pretty similar. So yeah, as you can see, Ocean.io, this is great for building lookalike lists, which is a really strong campaign motion to be running for your outbound. So this is a great data set to pull from. This is where you can build your companies. You can go by employee count. So let's say I want to only work with companies like Owner.com, these softwares that work with restaurants that are between 51 to 200 employees that are here. And this is a list I can pull. It's gonna be around 800 companies. So it's kind of a smaller list, if we want to send 10,000 cold emails per day, we want to go have a bigger list because we need to support 10,000 cold emails per day. So ideally, we want a list of like 50,000 people. So in that case, I might want to just use Prospeo and build a broad list, right? We can build these smaller lists, lookalike lists, but I want coverage. So I'm going to come to Prospeo and I want to just target software companies. I'm going to type in software. I'm just going to say software development as an example. I'm going to go to headcount, custom range, let's say 50 to 200. These are the companies I want to work with. And then the people I want to target these companies is going to be anyone in marketing and sales and is owner, C-suite, director, or head, or VP. Those all work with me. So these are decision makers, and I want to reach out to them with my demand generation solution, right? Okay, so now we got about 19,000 contacts. This is going to fit our situation a bit better. And what I'll do, come here, select all 19,000, apply, and then export. Run these creds because it's not a list I want to go off of. But again, this is Prospeo. List building is super simple. You just saw how I went about it. Location, you can say you want specific people from the United States. I always do this. List might be a bit smaller, but yeah, they have all the general filters you need. Keep it really simple. But when you're looking to do a large volume, typically just keep this list simple, because what we're doing the next step is we are going to enrich these companies. So this list I pull from Prospeo, I want to, like any database that you use, the list you pull off the database is never going to be perfect, right? So I want to qualify these companies and then also enrich the people for any missing email addresses and also validate. So once we build our list in Prospeo, we are then going to move it to Clay. And this is where we're going to be doing the qualification, enrichment, and then verification. So what's happening in this table, we are first qualifying these brands. So in this case, this is for beauty and makeup brands. We are verifying that they are a beauty e-commerce brand. As you can see here, we have the prompting here. So as you can see here, we have the AI, it is analyzing the company description, and essentially the AI is just classifying whether they are a beauty brand or not. This is gonna be that qualification layer that every list we build is something that we're going to run. This is absolutely essential. As I mentioned, Prospeo is a great database, but no database is perfect with the filters. So we need to do that extra layer qualification, which is essential. Once the companies are qualified, for all the qualified companies, we're going to then enrich the contacts. So we're not enriching any contacts that belong to an unqualified company, because that's just a waste of credits. You're only going to enrich the companies and the people that work at these companies for qualified ones, right? So as we come to this list, you can see we have the list of contacts, and then we have the waterfall for the email findings. So we're finding emails that are potentially missing. We are verifying them. We're enriching all the data, normalizing the company names, and then having all the data here. So that is the general process for list building. Again, if we're doing 10,000 emails per day, we want to build larger lists and not try to go too niche, because we need to support all that volume, right? So now we built the lists. Next step is messaging. So now let's dive into Cloud Code. I'm going to come here. I have a skill for messaging, so it's just called /messaging, and I'm going to outline the exact targeting I want to do, the offer I'm doing it for, and it's going to generate messaging for us. I have a full video covering this specific Cloud Code skill. I'll leave in the comments below or in the description. You can check it out, but I'm just going to run this right now so you can see how this works. So the skill is going to ask us questions. 4 main questions: segment, who we're targeting, headcount, target job titles, and then dream companies. The dream companies is just to give it an idea of exact, like, if they were to write copy to one specific company, what would that look like? So I'm going to answer these real quickly using Whisperflow. So segment and audience, we're going to be targeting software companies who help restaurants specifically. So vertical SaaS that work with restaurants. Company headcount range is going to be between 50 to 200. Target job titles are going to be any main decision makers in sales or marketing. And then a dream company is going to be owner.com. I want to model the messaging around if I was to reach out to one of these people. And one of the main concepts for the messaging I want to lead with is going to be the idea of us being able to reach out to every single restaurant in America. Since we have that capability with Google Maps, we're able to scrape all Google Maps, scrape the reviews, and we can write really personalized messaging to these companies, which can help sell their product for helping them, market these restaurants or automate any of their processes for these restaurants. So we're going to let that run. Now we have the generated messaging. So what this skill is going to output, it's going to output a full breakdown, the strategy, reasoning, phase testing notes, dream company research, blah, blah, targeting, just giving a bunch of general notes. But diving into the copy, so here we go, sales managers, can't personalize, blah, blah, okay. So first name, there are 700,000 restaurants, more than company could ever reach with personalized outreach one by one. We scrape Google Maps reviews on each, so every email reads like a regular one I wrote. Built 10 sample emails. Okay, so it's not a bad email. So it's like a custom offer specific to reaching out to these software companies that target restaurants. So honestly, not a bad email. I don't mind that at all. Let's check out the next one. There's 700,000 US restaurants, or the company could blah, blah, blah. It's a different offer. We put together a list of every restaurant in your segment. Okay, so again, not bad. I actually don't mind these emails. And each of these emails is written is given a follow-up too, plus the subject line, as you can see there. Okay, yeah, so all kind of the same angle. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to reprompt this, but what you could do is you could reprompt all these. You could reprompt the AI to give you more variations and all that, which in this case I would. since all these emails are pretty similar, but overall, I actually don't mind this angle. I think it's pretty solid. So, okay, let's say we are going to run this angle. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this to a Google Sheet and then add this into Email Bison. We now have the copy in a Google Doc and we can add these to Bison. So, grab messaging. Now I'm gonna show you how to create the campaign. So, come into Email Bison. All you do is come to campaigns, create campaign. I'm just gonna call this test, or I'll call it SAS restaurants. Probably spelled that wrong, but it's fine. This is where you would upload the lead list. You just come here, upload there, but since I have lead list, I'm not gonna do that. So what we're gonna do, come to sequence, build from scratch. All you need to do, come here, get the email, paste, and then you can add split testing variants. So the way the variables work, this is the format, so it's just like all uppercase parentheses. You can see the variables here, so you can see there, that's what the first name looks like. So you can use those just natively with this button here. But yeah, so you can create, this is where you add the email, you can add options to it. I recommend keeping it plain text. You can add your subject line here. We'll have this spin text as well. This is spin text. Come here, there, and this is where we can add the variants. So we can come here to our document, add the other variants. So we have variants here. Then if we can add a follow-up, add step. If you come to the first email, you can change the delay in days. So I like to do 3 typically, or even 2. Come here. It's gonna be a re of the first email, so like re subject line. Then we can come here, add the email twos, and then we're good. Once the copy is good and ready, you can add a schedule. So for a schedule, what I like to do is I like to typically have like a really more random starting time, because a lot of times people use sequencers, they all start at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. on the dot. I like to start a bit more random. We're gonna only send Monday through Friday. Some people send on Saturdays. You can send it on Saturday, but I've seen people get results, but I like to keep it Monday through Friday. Settings, so we want to have open tracking off, plain text emails on. We don't add unsubscribe link. You don't have to do that. And then you can, I just keep this to see, so this is gonna include the auto replies in the stats. I do this to see, because it's a good gauge for deliverability in most cases. So maximum emails per day, we're gonna wanna send this to 10,000. I like to set the maximum sequence starts per day to 10,000 as well. I like to get through as many new contacts as possible, as fast as possible, because that first email you send to new contacts is gonna be the highest reply rate email that you send. It's gonna get a high reply rate than any fault that you send. So I might as well max it out, right? And then from here, you add your emails. Once the emails are uploaded, you just come here, add them, and then you'll be good. And from there, you launch, and your campaign is firing. You'll be able to see in the dashboard how many emails you sent, all the statistics, how many replies you got, how many you're interested, all that good stuff. So once you are sending emails, you're going to start generating replies. You're going to see the replies in the master inbox. Of course, there's no replies here right now, but what we want to do is we want to set up a workflow that notifies us when we get positive replies, and then also is able to score them and then generate responses for that. So what we have here inside NAN is going to be that exact workflow I just mentioned. So what we have here is a full end-to-end inbox management agent. This is pulling replies, checking that they're positive, and then it's writing a full response for them. And then it's sending it to a dedicated Slack channel where we can see the reply and what we want to respond with it as an option. So as you can see here, pulling replies, we were using +5 in this case. We're switching over to Email Bison, but taking the inbound replies, it's going to count the information so we can have, that the AI can see like what availability we have on the calendar. It's then choosing slots to pick from, is then sending to Slack for the SDR or whoever is managing inbox to review. And then from there, we can send it, or you can edit it. And from there, we can reply within the sequencer. So this is what the prompting looks like for the reply agent. As you see here, a lot of stuff. If you join my community, the GTM Elites, we share this exact reply agent. So if that's something you're interested in, you can join here. We have a full end-to-end course, 3 weekly hour group calls, daily insight posts, personal DM access, weekly exclusive workflows, all that good stuff. You can join here, see what people are saying about it. But yeah, that's pretty much the full end-to-end workflow. So we covered all this. We have everything from creating secondary domains to setting inboxes, the sequencer, building lead lists, writing messaging, creating campaigns, and handling replies. Managing the whole thing is a lot of work, as you can see. So consistently building these lead lists, testing messaging, making sure the emails don't break. It all seems simple. I made it very simple in this video, but it's a difficult process. It takes a lot. You can start at lower volume, but if you're looking for someone to build out this exact workflow and run your outbound motion, done for you, go to pipeline.tech. This is our team. You work with me directly and my team. We offer free campaigns, so you can apply for a free campaign today. Come here, hit this button, and fill out the application form there. But visit pipeline.tech, not .com, .tech. You can check us out there. As I mentioned, we have the paid community, $247 per month. You can check out the website here. Great community, a lot of great feedback. 3 coaches, 3 weekly calls, good stuff happening in there. But that's everything you know. 10,000 emails per day. You can send 10,000 emails per day. It's that simple. So I hope you found it valuable. Thanks for watching. Cheers.